Make sure you hear it.
75 years ago, Hermann Goering testified at the Nuremberg trials. And he was asked, how did you make the German people go along with all this? And he said, it's an easy thing. It's not anything to do with Nazism. It has to do with human nature. The only thing a government needs to make people into slaves is fear. And if you can figure out something to make them scared, you can get them to do anything that you want. Governments love pandemics. They love pandemics for the same reason they love war, because it gives them the ability to impose controls on the population that the population would otherwise never accept. And we're telling them today, you are not going to take away our freedoms. You are not going to poison our children. We are going to demand our democracy back. Thank you all very much for fighting.
Fuck yeah. Welcome to the show, motherfuckers. We said we were going to get crazy on this one, considering the last rant episode. So we're going to get in to the Georgia Guidestones. And I am one of your hosts of this crazy, kooky series that will last till the end of time, Strange Juans. My name is the Reptilian.
I thought we were using nicknames.
Yeah, I'm the Reptilian.
So I'm Nipple Master Flex. Welcome back to the Strange Juans, the show that makes your nipples hard. I am Juan from the Juan podcast. You can follow me on any social media at the Juan podcast, and you can send Tom
No.
pics.
I already got enough of those. I have a whole collection on my phone now.
Nice.
Yeah, follow me on the Reptilian at TikTok, at the Revolutionary Man on TikTok, at Strange Brew Podcast on TikTok. That's a lot of true crime fun shit. And follow all the stuff. You know where to fucking find us, www.strangebrewpodcast.com. Might as well do it off the hop. But this is going to be a crazy one. We went a little nutty on the last one. We're living in a crazy time right now.
I think we needed it, bro.
I know.
That's the thing, because it's so much bullshit that's going on in the world right now, and honestly, bro, I think that they're going to look at I think it was Carnival Cruise Line or Delta Airlines. They're going to be charging their employees that are not vaccinated a premium for not being vaccinated on their healthcare plan. They're going to be charging, I think, a $200
Nazism, and people need to realize that. And I'll say this, I bet there's like some listeners that are vaccinated and stuff like that, and I don't really give a shit. Do what you want, what you think is right.
Whatever you do with your nipples is your business.
Exactly. I don't give a shit. I think everyone should be coming together as one, as unity, because there's these people out there that think, I said the last one that, me and Juan should die because we're not choosing to get something that's experimental against a virus that has a 98% fucking survival rate. There's people out there that think that all the people that are not getting the vaccinated, getting vaccinated, I think you meant
like us in specific. I was like, man, that's fucked up.
I haven't heard that yet, but I do know there's probably a lot of people out there that.
But if I saw that review you posted.
Yeah.
If you don't like listening to even my podcast, if you don't like listening to us, you do know that you can
just press the stop button.
You don't have to leave a negative
and we
review.
I guess to shut that out because I wanted to do it with Billy because he was on that episode a while ago. It's like a fucking 2 years old or something like that. We covered the shadow people. I think it's a fucking amazing, great episode. I tell my story of my experiences with seeing shadow people. And we joked at the beginning about native names like Blackfeet and Wolf Panther and all these, the native names that, they take upon after animals. And we were just joking. And somebody gave one episode 15 minutes and decided to leave a fucking bad review. And that's the stuff that's always like these people that, there's always those people that they'll go to a restaurant and if they have a shitty experience, they'll go to Yelp and leave the worst review. But if you have a good time and a good food or whatever, a good time listening to the podcast, you're more likely not to leave. You'll just keep going back there, keep listening, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the point of that. And I said during the post I posted on Facebook about it and stuff was that, we give so much praise to indigenous culture because I find it extremely interesting. I have a lot of native friends and did growing up. Almost like I would think like 40% of my friends growing up were native. So that it's just these people that listen to something and they don't understand our whole scheme of what the podcast is. We are a dark humored based podcast, and if you were just listening the first time this episode, we say some dark shit that we think is funny. And if you don't find it funny, it's not for you. Keep scrolling, stop the feed, do whatever you need to do. I just will never understand those people are like, I didn't like how they have these racial undertones.
People like it when I tell you we're gonna get canceled too.
Yeah, I bet they fucking
I'll be like, hey, you can't say that shit. And then you'll be like, no, I don't care. And you still say it anyways. And I'll be like, all right, whatever. So
it is what it is. We have freedom of speech last time I fucking checked. So
no, that's out the window. So welcome to the show. Yeah. And we're going to be doing this. I have a trip planned to go to Georgia, and I
that'll be
planned
awesome.
it on the way up there to stop here. And obviously we're talking about the Georgia Guidestones. It's a monument in Elbert County, Georgia, in the middle of bumfuck Egypt, nowhere. And it's called the granite capital of the world. And I've talked about this before, about ancient civilizations, and maybe for our next episode I want to dive into Angkor Wat. I don't know if you've heard of that in Cambodia.
No, you wanted to get into those other those like Japanese weird people too also sometime.
That too. There's
a
also
lot of shit on the docket.
There's a lot of shit that we can go, but I was obviously looking into this, and I had looked into it, and let me tell you what, bro, I'm down. I'm down with the sickness. I am down, and I dig what these lizard people are all about. Except for that one line on the monument that's kind of fucked up.
Well, I got the whole thing ready to fucking pop off.
So yeah, go ahead, bro. Just
the Georgia Guidestones have been called America's most. Just joking.
Bro, imagine if you were that intense, bro.
Every episode.
Shit. I love the energy from this podcast. You know, just the fucking host
screaming over the fucking mic. The Georgia Guidestones have been called America's most mysterious monument. What in the heck are these weird Stonehenge-like structures in rural Georgia, as you said? Well, why do they have messages inscribed on them predicting the end of the world? Look, I shortened it, Juan. It's really short now.
Good. I'm just watching this guy walk his dog past my lawn. Better not fucking make it piss or anything on my lawn. Motherfucker.
Can't say piss on the podcast.
Whatever. So...
yeah, but the Georgia Guidestones, also known as America's Stonehenge, are massive granite structures in far eastern Georgia near the South Carolina border. No one knows who paid for the construction of the Georgia Guidestones, nor what they actually mean and the strange messages engraved on them. And we'll get into all that very soon.
Yeah, so they were erected.
Oh, I like that word.
Been waiting all day to say that. They were erected in 1979, March 22nd, and they opened March 22nd of 1980. And what does that have to do with anything, Tom?
Because we're getting ready to go, man. We're getting into the subject. Oh yeah, let's get it going. Talk about the Georgia Guidestones.
All right, my nipples are ready. So the height is they're 19 feet 3 inches tall, and they're made of granite. And like I said, the area, the town that it's in, it's known as the granite capital of Georgia, I guess. I don't fucking know. Yeah. And again, when I've talked about ancient civilizations and all these ancient people of back then, that they would construct buildings and monuments from granite. So it's got something to do with the material. Maybe it's conductive, maybe it's not, but it strikes the question. I've talked about this on my podcast. When you put certain rocks in certain formations, it might be to, I don't know, call upon other worldly powers, or because even when you put up,
we should eventually cover the Guidestones. Eventually, I mean, the Guidestones. We're talking about that now.
The
Stonehenge, because I've never really done it. I feel like I'm fucking on acid right now.
Yeah, no, don't do that shit. So when these were put up, a lot of people had their beliefs of why they were put up, and then we can
everyone's
get into
walking up these stones and they're like,
what the fuck?
I just want to point out that I don't know if you want to start with what's written on them.
Oh, that's exactly what we're going to get into first, really. So the following 10 messages are inscribed on the structure's giant slabs. These 10 messages are written on the Guidestones in 8 different languages. I wonder which language they left out. Let's find out. Those languages.
They put the 8 most spoken languages on there.
English, Swahili, Russian, Spanish, Sanskrit, Arabic, and the Chinese. Although they are not numbered on the monument
hieroglyphics
itself,
on there too, dude.
Yeah, they present in this order in every language. The following 10 messages. Oh, what the fuck? I had that fucking twice. So let's
Can
get
you
into
read
the
them
messages.
all except the first one, please?
Are you sure? Why do you want to wait for the first
skip
one?
the first one because that's the one that like makes this shit weird. But just read all of them except the first one, please.
Number 2, because we're skipping one according to Juan. I was gonna mention too. If you're a long time listener, you would know that I covered this somewhat with a podcast from the Fourth Hand Network, but fuck them. I deleted it not a couple months after we left, not even like a couple weeks after we left Fourth Hand Network, because Fourth Hand Network is a bunch of crybaby sensitive bitches.
Don't say that. Our views just don't align, because I got kicked off that network too.
Yeah, our opinions.
I'm sure they're good people. They're just got different views than us.
Yeah, they took me off of it because I kept posting vaccine memes on my own group page. So but I covered it with the guy. I actually like these guys. If you want like Close Encounters of the Slurred Kind, I don't know how much they're doing it now, but they're good dudes as far as I'm concerned. But I wanted to recover this when Juan mentioned it, and I deleted it because it wasn't the greatest quality, and we different of opinions on the network and stuff like that. Fuck them. But I wanted to get back into this, so I just wanted to mention that for someone that's like, oh, weird, I thought they did this. No, we're gonna do it even better. Fuck everybody but us. So the second one, it says, guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. I am Obama.
Start with the third one. Skip the first two.
That's guide reproduction wisely. So it sounds to me a little Hitler-esque, a little Nazi, because it's like, just make sure that blacks don't mix with whites and Mexicans don't. That's what it sounds like.
It gets better. Just go to the third one.
Unite humanity with a living new language. I say we all start clicking like we're in Africa.
A little weird, but less weird. Go ahead, hit me with the fourth
Rule,
one.
passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Okay, so you like all these fucking things?
I could get behind that. That's a little bit easier to swallow.
Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts.
Yes, I can get behind that.
Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in the world court. It's kind of calling for a new world order. It's exactly what that is.
We can't jump to conclusions, Tom.
Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Oh, I got a useless official running my country right now, so... Balance personal rights and social duties. What does that mean, balance, though? All this is all sketchy.
Yeah.
Prize truth, beauty, love-seeking harmony with the infinite, which is the only one I can really get behind. Actually, the next one I can get behind, too.
The next one. I like the next one.
Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. And they mention it twice.
I like that. Because when I was on mushrooms, that's all I could think about. That we're a fucking cancer to this world.
Yeah, I've said that for fucking years. That what I've learned from reading and people like David Wilcock, my favorite, that
David Wilcock,
that you can reincarnate as planets, supposedly in the research. Some spiritual
what the fuck
people. So you can, if you get high enough in the evolutionary scale, you could actually reincarnate as a planet, because plants are living beings. And they need some sort of soul, which is crazy. It means you have to be at such high evolutionary level of spirituality, because you're an entire earth, and then you're connected to everything that's in this earth, plants, animals, everything. So they're all kind of a part of you. So that's why it's Mother Gaia to the indigenous people. And I respect them a lot. Motherfuckers get bad reviews. Is Mother Gaia. And the last one, I only had 10. That
was it?
Yeah.
All right, so read the first. All right, so after you've heard, I can I can
Yeah.
get down with the sickness on that one, except the second one's kind of fucking weird. But what's the first one? This is what really gets people their blood going, you know?
Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature.
Bum, bum. No, wrong one. Bum, bum, bum.
I guess we could do that one. Okay, I got a new one for you.
Yeah, I like that one too. So, pretty much, kill a fuckload of people. That's what that says. Because there's a lot more than 500. Was it 500 million?
Yeah,
Right?
and guess what's gonna happen this year, man? I mean, in 5 years.
I that's the thing. So the more logical, the Occam's razor of all right, so it's weird that we have this Stonehenge-esque thing pop up right in the middle of rural Georgia, and
Georgia,
in the time that it was erected,
Georgia.
it was during the Cold War, and there was talks of nuclear holocausts and stuff
Yes.
like that. And I feel that where it was placed, there was a documentary on it on the History Channel. I think it was like 9 years ago or something like that, where they talk about that if everything else was, you know how they say in 2012 that everything was supposed to melt and everything's supposed to flood in, and you have all these Florida's about to be like swallowed up halfway. So
Remember, there's
where this
bombs
place
under
is
Florida.
at, yeah, where this place is at, it's somewhere where if the world was to flood, it wouldn't be affected, so it would still be there.
I don't know how fucked I would be. I guess I'd be fucked because I'm on the dick of fucking Canada. So
we know that ancient Egypt, the pyramids have withstood many
the
years.
test of time.
The test of time because of this material. A lot of people say that these stones are for some energetic thing. This thing. There's supposedly there's a time capsule buried under there.
We're gonna get to
say,
all that.
Yeah, some people say again. It gets weird, and so
Yeah.
continue because this is
Guidestones are located in the far eastern Georgia, about 30 miles from the college town of Athens and 90 miles from Atlanta. Oh, you don't want to go to Atlanta. You want those. I'm not gonna say anything. Where is the closest major airport? Which is also happens to be the world's busiest airport, is located. The Georgia Guidestones are almost twice as tall as Stonehenge. Nearly 250,000 pounds of granite was used to make them. That's some heavy granite, buddy.
So I forgot to say that there's a shorter message inscribed at the top of the structure in 4 ancient language scripts. So that's they have the hieroglyphics and apparently some other stuff there too, which is kind of fucking weird.
No one knows who paid for the construction. As the story goes, an elegant, well-spoken, well-dressed, and gray-haired man who identified himself as R.C. Christian appeared at the granite company in nearby Elberton, Georgia, one day requesting a quote on the project. Figuring he was some nut, the grant specialist purposely claimed a ridiculous price, figuring Mr. Christian would kind of back down. Instead, he fucking agreed to the price.
I got lizard money, baby.
Exactly. R.C. Christian allegedly presented the builders with a shoebox containing a wood model of the monument and with 10 pages of extremely detailed specifications. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's got to do. I wonder, bro. So R.C. Christian, and we can get into this
we'll
later.
get into it. I have like a lot of points to do with the fucking shit that
it's got to do. I feel like and I didn't see this covered anywhere when I was researching this. Is it maybe he had like a vision or something from like angels or some alien or something to tell him? Because these ancient civilizations, it's always that what the extraterrestrials gave them the instructions and then they were able to, right? Because the alignment of the pyramids and all these different places, I wonder where this place falls in on the ley lines. Like if it falls in on the ley lines.
Oh yeah, no, I was thinking that same shite. So our seated at the highest point in the entire country, the monument was precisely engineered to track the movements of the stars and the sun. Depending on where they stand and which slots or holes they peer through, visitors can see the sun rise during an equinox or a solstice or the locate the North Star. It's pretty crazy.
Isn't the North Star the draconian? Don't they say that Satan is up there? Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
The
I don't know. I don't know
Draco
if it's the North
constellation or some
Star, but
shit?
one of the brightest stars in the sky is the North Star, and I swear I've seen that shit move, man.
Well, there's been
I'm drinking
there,
beer, just so people know.
there's a conspiracy where it talks about the North Star being the I've heard this conspiracy before, where the North Pole is actually like a portal to another dimension, and that's how you're able to. That's why
Can I go meet Santa Claus there, bro?
Listen, no. So you
I
know
wanna
how
meet
Santa. You can't go to the North Pole, you can't go to the South Pole, right? It's like what's up there. Some people say the world is flat, etc., etc. But
Nazis.
it's kind of weird. I don't know.
Well, mind blown, maybe. Yeah, so like obviously, like some people suspect, which we'll get into, maybe a Rosicrucian order finds the project, but that's for a little later. But essentially, it just since the Rose Cross Christian, aka Christian Rosicrucian, or I don't know how you pronounce that correctly, but I'm gonna say it that way, was founded on the mythical society of the Rosicrucian order. Many suspect that the Rosicrucians were financed the building of the Georgia Guidestones. But when I learned about this years and years and years ago, I definitely thought it was a Freemason thing.
With the Rosicrucians?
Yeah, and that could be a topic on its own because technically we covered the Knights Templar. Me and Billy covered Freemasonry. So maybe me and you could dive back and go back in the Rosicrucians because all these things have fucking layers, right?
Yeah, so the TLDR is pretty much these were people who believed in it goes back to this ancient bloodline, right? And again, you can interpret that how you will if you want to talk about it being reptilians or not. But it's got to do.
It is
I relate it to this mysticism that they're into natural healing, Reiki and all that shit, and it's got to do. I feel a lot with Hermeticism as well, as above, so below, and the Hermetic principles. And you have Tristis Megistus, and a lot of people say that.
Who the fuck is Tristis Megistus?
The guy who the guy behind the Hermetic order, dude.
His name was Tristis Megistus.
Tristis Megistus is one of the dude.
He sounds like a cracker, dude.
No, some people say that was Jesus, bro, and some people say that that Jesus was a Rosicrucian.
I can see that. I've heard the name before, but I just still think it's funny. His name was Trisket McGrisket, like he said.
Tristis. Fuck you, bro. So, and again, these are the reptilian-esque people that. When I talk about it, I talk about the reptilian overlords or the archonic forces that are behind everything. They are the people in the control room in Truman's world that they're trying to stop him from getting out of the simulation, from breaking free. And once you're able to learn through gnosis, through knowledge, through learning these things, you're able to ascend through to the other dimension, and how Truman was able to get out and finally see the real world, right? So anyways, the Rosicrucians, they say that it's got to do with him because RC, Rosicrucians, and then Christian. And when you look at the monument from the top, it's kind of like a cross, right? Is that what they talk about?
Yeah.
Cross, which also has to do with the Knights Templar. I think they're all related, bro. I think it's all the same shit, just interpreted differently depending on the time that they were talking about it, right? Like in the time of the world and time, chronologically.
Yep, sounds correct. But the project's builders had to sign a legal agreement never to reveal his identity to the financiers. They also swore to destroy all legal papers regarding the Guidestones and their construction once this project was finished. So the fact that he paid all this, and he's probably like, I'll give you a little extra on the top. We're just gonna, you don't say shit about who I am or anything like that, or anything to do with any of this shit. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird.
That doesn't surprise me because who's to know that maybe he wasn't even the owner of that actual company. He was paying himself to do this shit.
He definitely. RC Christian was a cover name for some Freemason 100%. Fuck. Others suspect that Ted Turner financed the project, which is fucking retarded. So
Yeah.
I can't fucking use that word anymore.
Yeah,
But
you can't say that. I also saw that. And when he
yeah,
bought the land, he bought the land from a local farmer under the agreement that the farmer could let his cattle onto the land. And then after they were done with the project, he donated the land to the government, bro, to the county.
because since Ted Turner of CNN fame is located a mere 100 miles from Atlanta, and since many of his stated globalist goals reflect the message of the Georgia Guidestones, it's also been suggested that he is the mysterious patron behind the Grand Slabs. Who knows?
No, I don't think he did it. He's part of that reptilian esque group.
Yeah.
One
The
hundred
whole
percent.
world's fucking mad right now. And this is all. Do you know who Tom McDonald is?
No,
Wow. I have to fucking show you his new
I know
song.
Tom Thompson. Do you know that
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah. Yeah.
guy?
He's a
He's a
piece of
cuck.
shit. So, I'm a avid hip hop fan. I don't always like his beats or his choruses.
You said Tom McDonald.
Tom McDonald is this dude that came out and then he almost like he was like dissing people. Not really diss people. He's doing these weird fucking songs and he's all
Yeah,
independent.
looks like a great guy.
Yeah, if you listen to his music, I think you would like it because if you listen to the songs like Snowflake, which disses everyone that's a pussy pretty much, or his brand new song Brainwashed is actually very good because he dissects how the divide and conquer and stuff like that. And
Oh,
I'm
he's
a huge
Canadian, eh?
Yes, and I'm a huge Vinny Paz and Moral Technique, Ill Bill, and all these rappers that have tried to spread truth for years. This is why I listened to when Tom McDonald came out. I was like, nah, his song "Fake Woke" is what was like, all right, maybe he's trying to make a difference and change things and stuff like that and be different. I don't really like the mainstream beats that he kind of uses, but he's getting extreme fame from this, and a lot of people are seeing him and his message, which makes it a good thing. But he's doing the Brainwash song is all about how they're dividing and conquering. And I showed Billy it. Now Billy's in love with Tom McDonald. But
He's dating a Rockefeller, dude.
what?
His chick's name is Nova Rockefeller.
Yeah,
What
that's
the
just
fuck?
that is just her stage name. And then he dissed Mac Lethal, which I've listened to Mac Lethal for many years, and Mac Lethal called it out and said supposedly she writes his rhymes, but who fucking knows? But it is just showing like Vinny Paz's song "The End of Days" has a couple million views. Tom McDonald's videos, every single one gets like 5-6 million views within like a week or a couple days, and he's trying to spread this message, at least that I think of, and he's totally independent. But he's talking about all this stuff of divide and conquer. Everyone's fighting with each other. It doesn't matter what black lives, white lives, which lives mean most, and it's like all this shit. And like, just listen to Brainwashed. Maybe when we're done this episode, but it's this whole point of that everyone is being pinned against each other, and that his whole song is about and the whole chorus is like everybody's brainwashed, and if we stop fighting each other. And what the government wants us to do is fight with each other, so we don't go look up at them and be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" You know what I mean? All the division that has been caused in the last, fucking over 100 years, but especially the last 3 years, the fucking Black Lives Matter movement, the fucking coronavirus, now the vaccines, all this shit is just divide and conquer. And you can. If people don't even see the false division that is being created by the elites, then they don't even know that they're actually being divided. You know what I mean?
I've talked about Project Bluebeam and Project Blue Book and all this shit. And how funny would it be? They always talk about divide and conquer. But when we all have one threat, like World of Worlds type of shit, that we all come together, how funny would it be if, how with the coronavirus right now, a lot of people are saying, oh, it's fake and all this bullshit, which for the record, I don't think it's fake. I think it's a real thing. I'm just against the whole mandating shit. But I feel like if we were to be put up against one threat right now as a humanity, how what
It
would
would
be
be
the
aliens.
no, but what would be the different tribes? Like right now, you have the people who are like, "Oh, COVID's fake," and then you have the people like, "Oh, COVID's real," or
Oh, the
the
vaxxed
unvaxxed.
and unvaxxed, yeah.
What do you think the excuses would be? Like, "Oh, this is a, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like some stupid fucking joke for like the alien. It's like, oh, it's not an alien; it's a holographic projection." And then the other person's like, "No, that's a real alien." And then
Yeah. Oh,
you're
yeah.
gonna
Oh,
have
yeah.
all the
Because that's
division.
exactly. And the thing is, I'm not gonna know. And if this happens, because it's prepping to be like that, but I'm not gonna know until I talk to an alien myself. I want to talk to them. I want to shake their hand. I don't even give a shit if they're reptilian. I'm like, hey man, like, if I die, I'm not going to where you're going. So what's up? Like, I want to fucking talk to them and ask them why you got to
But
be
you
the
see,
biggest bully.
you're already one of the tribe. You're gonna be like, no, I gotta fucking see it for myself. I'm not gonna
Exactly.
believe what the government is showing me an
Well, if it's
alien.
the government releasing this shit, if I see it on my own by myself, then I'll be convinced to an extent. And this is someone who, when I was 18, 17, 19, whatever, when I was that younger, early age, when I would go outside and smoke a cigarette, I'd look up at the fucking stars and I was convinced I saw fucking UFOs everywhere. And now I'm not so sure.
How high were you though?
I was always drunk, most likely, and high.
Exactly.
But
Come on.
seeing things move in the sky, I was never convinced it was a satellite. And like, if you see it's flashing, it's definitely a plane. But I used to see a lot of weird shit. But I just don't know what to think anymore. And I think this is going to be a crazy next 5 to 10 years. And
Well,
one day
they're
we're
pushing
going to
us into
wake
that
up.
corner, bro.
Yeah, we'll get there. So the message of the Georgia Guidestones seems to call for at least 90% of the Earth's population to be wiped out, which is fucked.
That's a lot.
The passage of maintaining humanity at a population about 500 million or less would require a massive dying off of humanity, the likes of which we've never ever seen, even with the Black Plague.
So that's why I feel like where the area that this is at and what the materials it's built out of, like let's say that there was some catastrophic event,
yeah,
these stones would probably still make it.
yeah.
And I feel like it was set to like be this thing where people could go to and be like, I forgot how to rule people.
I don't
Oh,
know if
here we
this is
go.
true, but the videos I've seen videos of people that live around Georgia and saying that they have seen people doing like satanic cult rituals around the Guidestones.
I mean, I could see that. That's like a. I don't want to. No, I'm not gonna say that. But that'd be
What?
like.
I say things because I know I'm gonna
like
sound
like
fucking,
Mecca, right? Where
yeah.
the rock at Mecca, where everybody's around that shit. Who knows if it's something like that?
Yeah,
Like this
pray to the
demonic.
fucking east, blah blah blah, fucking
Yeah, you know what
religious
I mean.
brainwashing
Because
bullshit.
we've talked about this, Tom, where the certain types of magics that people do, it depends. It's like the
Energy
ritual.
flows where your intention goes.
Well, it's like the Abra Melon ritual with Aleister Crowley. Everything
Yeah.
had to be to a T, and then a span over like
Yeah, I know.
2 years and shit like that. What the fuck?
I did a video about just how all these people like, cuz I'm trying to spread somewhat of the truth to wake certain people up or to see the people obviously that are on my side, and as weird as it is, TikTok started this app where people would dance in front of the camera. And now if you create your feed well enough, it will be people that think the same way as you do and people that are trying to wake people up through their messages and stuff like that. And I did a video how everyone's like, I'm going to trust a doctor, not a TikToker. And then I'm like, oh yeah, well, I've done my research and they're silencing a bunch of fucking doctors and nurses by the hundreds, and don't want them to speak out and are firing them and amongst other things. And at least 5 people commented like, you're wearing an Aleister Crowley shirt. I'm like, I find Aleister Crowley interesting, and I think it's funny to have him on my t-shirt, okay? Because I bought a bunch of fucking, I bought a Richard Ramirez shirt, an Ed Gein shirt, and an Aleister Crowley shirt. And I thought the Aleister Crowley shirt was fucking
Aleister
hilarious.
Crowley.
Oh,
Is your camera falling, bro?
No, I'm doing that with my foot. I fucked it up and
Oh.
moved it.
Scared the fuck out of me, bro. I was like, oh shit, somebody's taking your camera, Tom.
Yeah, fucking whole fucking Illuminati. But it is It is kind of fucking weird to me.
No,
And the fact that people are like,
100%.
oh, blah, blah. Like Aleister Crowley is a fucking sick, fucked up dude. He is, whatever. But I still find it interesting. I have like a couple of his books. I was gonna grab the Book of Lies, which is his poetry book. I've always found Aleister Crowley interesting. Does not mean I believe in what he fucking thinks or what he did think, but I still find him interesting. And I think it's hilarious to wear him on my fucking shirt.
He was onto something, but then he perverted it when he's talking about fucking kids.
Oh,
and that's what I
children.
feel a lot of these people throughout history, and that's why I feel that we've lost that connection, because maybe the lineage got like one bad apple to just spoil them all. So I feel like those people have.
And if you're someone who
away at
doesn't really know and you're just listening for the first time, or you haven't checked out our Aleister Crowley episode, go back and check out what me and Billy talked about Aleister Crowley, because it's pretty fucked up, man. It's pretty fucked up.
So back to the stones, bro.
Yeah, so obviously this is what led many conspiracy theorists, to allege whoever financed the Guidestones must have cahoots with the evil New World Order.
Daddy, chill.
What the fuck?
But yeah.
Yeah, we talked about this when it comes to the Denver airport and shit like that.
That's true. But whoever paid for the construction was able to not only hide their identity, but also hide the intentions for the construction of this bizarre monument, which is actually anyone's guess of what it actually means and all of this shit, right? Because we don't really know. And one of my homies, I'm a big fan of the Dice Man. Do you know who Mark Dice is?
No, but I think where have I heard that name?
Switch it up. I'll keep it black.
I've heard that name before, bro. Where have I heard
Mark
that?
Dice is a conspiracy theorist, and he like I read his book Illuminati Fact or Fiction, and he dives into a lot of the Illuminati aspects and the sacrifice and the stuff with children, and and it's an extremely good book. He's a writer. He does vlog shit. He's been around for a long time, and Mark Dice calls out people all the fucking time, where he'll do like interviews with normal people and being like, can you name a president from whatever, or name how many presidents can you name? Go around or be like, do you think the vaccine is fucking necessary? He'll like call people out on like in LA and shit like that, and he just likes fucking with people. Mark Dice. Some people might not like him, whatever you want to think. I like Mark Dice. I think he fucking is funny. I think he's a good writer. I think he likes fucking with people and testing and pulling strings to see what people might say. But check out Mark Dice sometime on YouTube and stuff. If his stuff even isn't around
just looked
anymore.
him up right now.
Yeah, Mark Dice is fucking dope. So Mark Dice claims that they are a deep satanic origin, and that R.C. Christian was a member of the Luciferian secret society with ties of the New World Order. And I read his book Illuminati Fact or Fiction probably 4 years ago when I was at the cottage, and it is actually really well written, and it does dissect all the weird mythos in his own opinion and what he's found. And I like Mark Dice. I do. I think he's trying to clue people into the world's fucked and shit. And I haven't listened to him or read his books in a while, but I'll like Mark Dice probably to the day I die. I think
I've always said this, dude, where I think the people we should be worrying about are the people whose names we don't know. I feel like the people who are actually running the show, and we talk about the Illuminati and the 13 families and all this shit, right, throughout all of history. I don't think that matters. I think that the people that we should worry about are having meetings in other dimensions. I think that they're having
who fucking knows?
elite meetings in other fucking
and that's why I just brought
universes.
Up that Immortal Technique a line or whatever, and how he's like, I don't got beef with the kid down the block or the white man that I see. It's the white man I don't see. And it doesn't even have to do with color anymore and shit like that. But this is his point back in the days, that like, I'm not going to beef with this fucking kid down the block for me or shoot him or do this and that. My beef is with the people that I don't see, the people that you don't know who they are. And I've done videos on TikTok about this stuff. Is like that, the politicians are just puppets, and these people, you think the Rothschilds, and you think the Rockefellers, and all these people that you think are controlling the banking systems, which they are to an extent. But there is people higher up and more
No.
disguised than the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds that purposely will never show you who they are, and they're connected to the reptilian bloodline. And at the end of the day, when we all die, we'll fucking know everything.
Did you see that one movie yet
Unless
on
you're a
Netflix?
sheep. What?
The one I told you is a little girl or something like that with the Aquaman.
Oh no, I haven't. You send me your fucking like a list of the shit because I have to watch. I want to watch what you've told me, but I keep forgetting. And then we're like looking for a movie. Me and my girl.
Sweet girl is the
Send me
is
like
the
in
name.
the other one you said that you were gonna send me. That one is that one on the plane where the chick is the virus? Is that the one you're talking about too?
Dude, you still haven't seen that one? Damn, bro, you're
Is it
missing
good?
out. Hell yeah, it was good.
All right, I'll tell Chelsea. We'll watch it together.
It's I think it was Blood Red Sky.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll definitely check that out. Have you watched Indiana Jones yet? No, I'm just joking. I know you have.
Fuck you. I've seen Indiana Jones and Jupiter Ascending.
I love Jupiter Ascending, man. That shit's so good. Fuck it. Some of the shit's cheesy, but I fucking love it.
Yeah,
so
he's hot as fuck.
Mark Dice actually urges the Guidestones to be smashed into a million pieces. Mark Dice elaborated. The elites are planning to develop a successful life-extending technology in the next few decades that will nearly stop the process of aging. And they fear with the current population on Earth is so high that the masses will be using the resources that the elites want for themselves. The Guidestones are the New World Order's 10 commandments. They are also a way for the elites to get a laugh at the expense of the uninformed masses. And their agenda stands as clear as day, and the zombies don't even notice.
What year was that, bro?
Extremely fucking true. Mark Dice probably, and I'm thinking the Illuminati book came out this time, when you're speaking of the Guidestones. I'm thinking early 2000s when he actually spoke out against this shit. That's what I'm saying. Mark Dice has been informed, but he says shit like, it's like clue in. They're weird.
Yeah, but that's the same shit
sheep.
Everybody's been saying for
Instead of
fucking
sheep
ever.
and stuff, he's been saying zombies, right? Because
Yeah.
Mark Dice actually does his research, and if you don't want to believe in what he says, it's not you, but the listeners or whatever, that's fine. But he's someone that has like written books, done a shitload of research, calls people out in their shit, likes fucking with people because he knows the average person is a sheep, or back in the day, you wouldn't really say, you say a zombie, but fucking lions got to awaken. The lions must awake. I'm gonna fucking eat everybody's hearts.
I feel like that's what we've all been talking about, and I feel people have been talking about that for years and years now. Because, Tom, how do you feel that every generation has its apocalypse, its end of times, and this couldn't possibly get any worse from here moments and things throughout all of history? And I feel that's programmed. The whole conspiracy that there's a pandemic.
Billy has made it quite clear on this podcast that I went fucking nuts during 2012, which I did to an extent. But at the same time, I never thought that I would personally be in somewhere bad. I thought that, people like me or people that clued into this shit. It's like I've been woke, as they like to say nowadays, since I was like 14, listening to punk bands. That's what woke me up, was music. Music was the main thing that woke me up to the shit that was happening in the world and what the government was capable of. Was like the Dead Kennedys, Anti-Flag, like all these bands, even some Iron Maiden songs. There's all these bands or rappers and stuff like that woke me up to that. Hey, don't trust your government because they're probably not that fucking good and they're probably doing things against the rights of humanity. And I think there's always it's a fear though. Even I fed into it in 2012. Was a fear tactic. And they use fear to manipulate you. How like the beginning of this podcast, that clip I played, how he says like the one way to make humanity slaves is by fear. The Germans did it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that fear and I don't know, dude.
It's
I feel
fucking
like
crazy.
it goes deeper than that, bro. I think it's a deeper thing
Oh
than
yeah,
just
well, we got
fear. You know what I
many
mean?
many episodes to could discuss and dive into all sorts of this stuff. So radical Christians have referred to the 10 messages inscribed in the Guidestones as the 10 commandments of the Antichrist.
Damn, son.
In
Well,
2000, okay, we gonna say something?
yeah, I'm gonna look up the Satanic temples.
Oh
Their
fuck, leave the
virtue,
Satanic Temple alone. They're fucking good
their
people.
virtues. Hold on.
The Satanic Church is not fucking bad, and if you think that, you have been brainwashed. It is just about people believing that they have their own rights and care about humanity and understand that you're a god in your own right.
They're tenants. They have 7 tenants too.
Yeah, and it's like don't yeah, if somebody pisses you off, you piss them off like too. Like it's I've read the Satanic Bible, and trust me, there's nothing in there. I'm gonna read it probably twice because there's nothing in, and we're on Strange Brew will eventually get into the Satanic Bible and Anton LaVey, and people are like, oh, he died on his deathbed saying, well, there's a demon after me or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I fucked up, but I don't know if I believe that at the same time, but the Satanic Church really has nothing to do with Satan. The only reason Anton LaVey labeled it the Church of Satan and called it Satanism was just to be the polar opposite of what the church was.
You think if I severed my arm, they'd let me keep it?
Who?
Like if I had a voluntary amputation, do you think they would let me keep my arm?
Who though?
The doctors, I don't know. Would I be able to get a voluntary?
Why was your thought? Why did your thought go to that?
Because I'm going down the Satanic Temples guys' Twitter and they talk about a severed arm. I don't know.
What?
Yeah, bro, it's fucking crazy.
So if you amputate your arm,
let's say I wanted
to keep it to jerk
my
it
arm.
off.
Number one, could I amputate my arm if I wanted to? And number two,
yes,
if
you
I
can.
got it,
you can do whatever you want to your own body, and
but
yeah,
that's a good, bro. Who knows? Maybe what if you go to the doctor and you're like, I want to cut my arm off? Why?
I want to use it to jerk off. He's like, you already can. And it's like, but I want it to feel like it's another person's hand.
Somebody else. Was it food for thought? I don't know.
So yeah, people don't be dismayed by the shit talk against Satanism and stuff like that, because really it's just about being a god in your own right. That's literally what it's about, having your own freedom. So in 2000, Christian minister Reagan R. Davis said the messages on the Guidestones are a clear call for a world government, for a state-sponsored eugenics program, and for a global culling of the human herd, of which was predicted in the book of Revelations.
Yeah, it's my favorite book in the Bible.
This is your favorite scripture?
It's my favorite story, yeah.
And who knows, because it makes fucking sense. And of course, certain religious people would believe that, because this
Apocrypha
seems very
is
sketchy.
Is some of the most interesting writing that you ever read. But again, it's got to do with the New World Order, Illuminati, and all these groups, these occult groups, the Freemasons. I feel it's the person who's behind it, most definitely one of those. But is it the Antichrist commandments?
No, I don't know what to believe when it comes to that, because I don't even know if I believe in Antichrist, because I'm not even sure if I believe in Christ. And every time I say, I'm like, Jesus, if you're up there, please don't judge me, because I'm questioning every fucking thing. Because I think
that's fucked up, right? I've thought about that before too.
I'm like, Jesus, don't fucking hurt me, or don't smite me, or make me go to whatever hell might be, because I'm questioning everything. Because the research I've done, there's no such thing as hell. Hell is a manifestation of the mind. Is that if you're on your deathbed, you're dying of cancer, and you're like, I'm going to go to hell, then you probably will, because you'll manifest this and your soul will manifest it. But in a lot of the research I've done, it wouldn't make sense, because your soul would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, wake up. You're not part of this physical structure. You just leave. and you choose to either come back to this physical reality or you go on somewhere else where you can excel to a higher level and either become a guide or you can become a big, robust, sexy planet or something like that, you
Nice.
know?
Yeah, makes my nipples hard.
So conspiracy theorist Van Smith says the Guidestones were a pet project of a white supremacist from Iowa who sought to establish a totalitarianism one government, which would make sense. He also says that encoded in the Guidestone structure is the numerical value of the feet of the Dubai's Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building, which is weird. So he says this proves the planners intended the Burj Khalifa. It's literally spelled the same as Wiz Khalifa. The Burj Khalifa to be the new Tower of Babel, and that would usher in the dawn of a new era in which man can become God.
That's stupid.
I don't like that one.
Yeah, I don't like that one either because if it was a Tower of Babel, I think it would look so much cooler than what the. I mean, this looks all right. It's not like the greatest.
The Dubai fucking tallest building.
Oh, he's talking about that one being, or this stone.
Yeah, encoded is the structure numerical value of
that's dumb.
And
it's encoded in everything, a lot of other things in the world too, probably in the pyramids of Egypt, because again, this golden ratio and these mathematical values, it's all symbolic for something else. You know what I mean? So maybe it does have some weird thing, just how Nikola Tesla, the 369 type of shit.
Because the type of granite used in the building of the Georgia Guidestones is called pyramid blue, and the granite came from pyramid quarries. Some conspiracy theorists have said the Guidestones are a part in an elaborate Masonic conspiracy to control the world.
Yeah, through some rocks. Well, it also has to do with the 2001 Space Odyssey, right? The monolith. It kind of looks like that a little bit.
I haven't seen that movie since I was like fucking 12. I gotta rewatch.
And if this guy was a racist, why the fuck would he put different languages on there?
I know.
That's stupid. I don't like that idea.
So since one of the 8 languages of the Guidestones is Hebrew, we have to blame the Jews. I'm just joking. Which is only spoken by.
I laughed a little bit too hard at that, right?
Yeah, of course. Only spoken by 9 million people. Others insist that the monument is a part of a Zionist plan to construct a new world order. And all those people are like, David Icke is not talking about the reptilians. He's talking about the Jews. You're fucking stupid.
You ever see the Zeitgeist, bro?
Yeah. Zeitgeist has its own flaws, but I've watched most of the Zeitgeist films, and it's good to almost lube people's butthole for waking up.
For Strange Brew.
Yeah. For waking up to the things that are going on, but I think the Zeitgeist has its own agenda in the end of this. But like they're good, and it helps people wake up. There's a good movie, a good documentary I watched years ago. It's called Thrive. And that one was good. And if you can find, I can't remember the fuck I watched it. Like, I think when it was Prime first fucking came out or something like that, it was like years ago. But Thrive was a really good documentary because they talk about how we're not thriving in humanity, but we should be. And it doesn't make sense that we aren't because there's certain people in control. Look up Thrive sometime, the documentary. It's good shit. Oh, my favorite homie. I have to get a Jones fucking
Donald
clip.
Trump?
No, I gotta get a fucking Jones fucking sound effect button for sure. I'm gonna have to cut some fucking Jones sound effects. Alex Jones in his film The End Game, which I did watch. Blueprint, that was years ago though. Blueprint for a Global Enslavement claims that the Guidestones represent a genocidal depopulation program sponsored by the world's financial elite. And if you don't like Alex Jones, or you think he's funny, or he's a kook, whatever, he is fucking 60 to 70% of what he says, and I've said 40 before, but whatever. But a lot of the shit he has said is complete fact and true. And years ago, the shit he said came fucking true, and they proved it was correct. So
conspiracy theorist or Fucking fortune teller. I don't know.
Fortune teller. Seattle-based conspiracy theorist Jay Widener says the Guidestones were created by the Rosicrucians, as we said, who believe that the solar event comes every 13,000 years to devastate Earth. And he says the Rosicrucian order is working behind the scenes to create a planetary chaos that accumulates in the destruction of a solar event, which is quite possible.
Yes, I can get behind that. And
keep going.
you talked about that it does track the
Yeah, well, yeah, I got we're almost like getting to the brink, and well, I guess not the brink, 'cause that's the climation, the crescendo, yes,
the orgasm.
Okay. No, I guess that's true. But I got a couple points, but others claim that they intended to be seen by survivors of a nuclear war.
Yep.
That's what the Guidestones are, is that people have there's nuclear war, then people can go to this certain place. Since Georgia Guidestones were built in 1979 at the height of the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union, many thought would obviously inevitably be a nuclear apocalypse, which still could happen, especially with the Taliban taking over. But there's different writers that suggest the Guidestones were meant to be seen by war survivors, at which point the world's population would already be below 500 million after a massive war. which
is also very possible.
So let's get into a couple interesting facts about the Guidestones, okay?
Okay.
Yoko Ono, this piece of shit, called the Guidestones a stirring call for rational freedom. She cut a tribute track in 1993, which I didn't listen to, which I fucking should have, called Georgia Stone. And Yoko Ono, if people don't know, was John Lennon's wife for a while, when he died. They're the famous picture of them sitting in bed together. We want peace. We're going to sit in bed together. We want peace. I don't like Yoko Ono.
Yeah, I can tell.
Do you know who? Did you like her? Do you know?
No, I didn't know who she was until you just said it.
What? Really? You never heard about Yoko Ono? She's like a contradicting bitch, man. She says a lot of bullshit and then goes back on it. And not a lot of people like her.
Sounds like a politician.
She's fucking horrible. The Stones were defaced with graffiti in 2008. I like this. And spray paint a message: death to the New World Order.
Did they draw a dick on it?
Yeah, and it had George Bush's face on it. Oh, that's 2008, so it would have been Obama's fucking Antichrist face. So, like you said at the beginning of this, a mysterious time capsule, like you said at the beginning, is allegedly buried nearby. A tablet erected near the Georgia Guidestones claims that the time capsule is buried beneath the tablet. Although there's no proof of this actually existing, nobody knows what's written on it or what the time capsules are even about. But the fact that there's one at the fucking Denver airport, as we said too, is extremely strange.
You know what I think it is, bro? All these different time capsules put in by these reptilian species. Maybe it's the Dragon Balls.
Yeah, true.
Maybe to battle the coming aliens, we have to all get the Dragon Balls and put them all together.
And there'll be some old man with a beard and sunglasses on that flies on a cloud and comes saves us.
I like that conspiracy theory. The fucking I'm gonna dub that the Dragon Balls.
The Guidestones were purposely designed to track the sun's east and west migration year round, like we said, during the equinox and the the solstice. Those who stand at the west side of the male slot carved in the Guidestones can see the sun horizon. We kind of already said this, that they can see the sun over the horizon. 4 outer stones are positioned to mark the limits of the 18.6 lunar the cycles, the cycles that decline almost, and eye level holes drilled into the center of the stones permits viewers to locate the North Star. We already said that. I know this is in this because this is the same fucking article. In 2009, A man stole a 6-inch cube of granite from one of the top of the Guidestones.
The fuck?
And you know what happened? The Cenobites came out and they fucking tore his skin apart and dragged him to hell like
He
he's
got
in Hellraiser.
suicided too.
You know what? You ever seen Hellraiser, bro? Fuck, man. If you want to watch I've read Clive Craven's
I'm tired of
books.
you judging me for not seeing
Or Clive Barker,
movies.
not Clive
I don't
Craven, that's the
I
beat
don't
maker.
say anything. If I don't reply, that means I haven't seen it.
Yeah, okay, so honestly, I'm a huge horror fan. Obviously, all the fucking shit I wear and do and think is all like I'm a massive horror fan. They get bad progressively like every fucking horror movie, but Hellraiser is up there in the ranks of Friday the 13th with Jason and Freddy and Leatherface, right? Sometime when you're bored, honestly, watch the 2 first Hellraisers, 1 and 2. It's really good. Like the first one especially is good. This guy essentially summons demons with this box, and then they come out and they tear his
Black
flesh
Cube.
apart. Yeah, it's fucking sick, dude. And with things they say in this film, the quotes are, like, I can show you such pleasures in hell, and it's so good. So check out that, because this reminds me of a guy steals something, and then because they stole it from this ancient site, and then this guy gets torn apart by demons, and eventually the one guy becomes Pinhead, which is like the villain, like how if you're looking at the images right now.
No, I've seen Hellraiser.
yeah.
I'm
the
sure I've
pins in his
seen
face.
the movie like bits and pieces, but I
Yeah.
haven't sat
Check
down.
it. The first 2, just watch those. The third one actually is not terrible. Hell on Earth is actually like pretty good. Some people dispute that, but I like the first 3. Even like the 4 gets fucking weird, but I enjoy all those fucked up horror movies. But so this guy that stole a top of the piece of the fucking Guidestones, 4 years later, police arrested William Jeremy Ellis in the
4
middle of
years
the
later?
night. Yeah, in the middle of the night, and as he was trying to replace the cube of granite he had stolen. And he explained to the police that he didn't want that weight anymore. So he stole a piece of the Guidestones, and then, as I was saying, like Hellraiser shit, it like fucked with his life. So they like, the police show up there, like they got a call, somebody sees some man standing on top of the Guidestones. The police show up like, what's going on, sir? Like, the demons are after me, man. I gotta put the stone back. And it's like almost like Indiana Jones shit too.
Yeah,
Like, put it back because you don't know what
Crystal
you're fucking
Skull
with.
and shit.
Yeah. So last little, actually 2 points. The tablet in front of the monument declares, "Let these Guidestones to an age of reason." It's kind of hard to be reasonable when you're talking about wiping out 90% of the planet's inhabitants. But that one's fucked. So the Guidestones were designed to withstand a catastrophic events such as, maybe like a world war, or wiping out 6.5 billion people through maybe a virus or something like that. As the world lays in ashes somewhere, R.C. Christian and his cohorts could take little comfort, the least they have, and obviously this giant creepy tombstone that was still staying in their rural Georgia, which I don't know. I don't think they would live there. Like, that'd be really weird.
So, Tom, what is it? What do you think these things were ultimately built for in the end? What's your personal belief?
I personally believe, I'm gonna say, in my opinion, is fucking some Freemasons, and that's my view. Is that it was Freemasons that put this here as a guideline because they knew what was coming. Because people out there know a lot more than we do about what is happening and what is going to happen and what has happened. The truth, or at least their version of the truth. But I believe that Freemasons set this up as a guidestones to other Freemasons or Rosicrucians or Knights Templar. Jesus fuck, you scared me. My girlfriend just walked in the room and scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, I feel like it was some reptilian-esque people. I feel like they put it up. It's got its symbolic meaning, but
Yeah,
how
it's
funny
fucking
would
weird.
it be to just put it up to fuck with people, right?
No, I agree. It's fucking strange, man. And I'm glad we dived into this because it's extremely relevant, especially after our Raid episode.
People will see.
Yeah, but that's, what do you guys think? You can always go to the Instagram pages that we have, or
And write to us to see what the fuck you want to hear us talk about.
Yeah, and you can also email us or shoot me a message on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. And if you have something to talk about, then we will. Because somebody was talking about this dude that follows all the pages and stuff. He was talking about these entities and stuff that like these Japanese entities that have like a face on their butt. And I can't remember it. So if you know who you are, fucking send me that shit again.
Wait,
I
what
forgot.
the fuck?
Yeah, there's this weird entities that have like this asshole face and they eat
Is
people
it
and
like
stuff.
something from Spirited Away? I love that movie.
It's like some weird Japanese folklore, which folklore in Japan and any Asian culture is extremely fucked up. So
That's racist. Don't say that.
every folklore is fucked up, man. We have stupid fucking fucked up folklore. So follow all the pages, www.strangepodcast.com. You can find all of the shit. You can find all the Instagram crap. You can find everything. Go to, the Strange Podcast TikTok. That's a lot of fun. I keep that one safe. I just talk about true crime shit and post clips from the episode and everything else. But you guys stay strange and stay woke.
Yeah, so follow me on social media at the Juan Podcast, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. And
Is there Instagram Juan Loves the Cockled?
Nope, that's yours. So yeah, this was a good one. And
Yeah, this is fucked.
Try not to fall too far down a rabbit hole. So
yeah, that's true. And don't
Hail Trudeau.
yeah, fuck that. Don't say that shit.